lunch in my car with a story about my first job serving in my small town of Elizabeth. And this is going to be a long format video. So if you are on a platform that doesn't have long format, I will have links to how you could do that. So anyways, let's get into lunch. So I am late to the trend on the mason jar, but I have ground turkey, beans, corn, cheese, tomatoes, and lettuce. And before you come at me and say, where's the sauce? I'm having lunch in my car. So all the sauces are at work or at home. So, so let's see if I can get this all right, there we go. Let's get into this. Smells good too. Find articles on this. It's pretty cool. In Elizabeth, PA, this man started to build in the 90s a Swiss Alpine village, which is still there. But he basically traveled to the Swiss Alps and he wanted to bring that to the town of Elizabeth. And he built it and it was really cute. It never got to its full potential. This is really a story about my first serving job, and that was in the Swiss Alpine villages, which is a Fox's Pizza now, I'm pretty sure, but it was a Bavarian restaurant. And I got a job there because I knew the guy. He owned, he was Mr. Mossberg's, and he owned Mossberg's restaurant like a little bit further down the street. And then he started this Bavarian restaurant. This is my first job. I'm like 14 or 15. So I really enjoyed working for Mr. Mossberg. He was super nice and kind, and he had a wife who I also loved. Then everybody told me, if you see a blonde girl pull up in a Corvette, that's his girlfriend. The wife knows about her. They all know about each other. My mind was blown. I don't know if this is the little town gossip, but everybody seemed to know about it and nobody thought it was like a big deal. And I never saw the two, like the wife and the girlfriend together, but they were both so nice. And I just thought it was so weird that we were just accepting that he had this girlfriend, and he was older and she was younger, the girlfriend, but not like, I was 14 or 15. So to me, she could have been in her 40s and I thought she was like super old, but she didn't look like your typical girlfriend with a Corvette. She was attractive, but the wife was attractive too. And I just didn't get it. I'm like, he must have been making money with these restaurants. I don't know. He was nice, but I don't know what he had going on that he could have a wife and a girlfriend and nobody cared. So that's just one story. I have so many stories from this place. So then we had this special for breakfast. It was like 2 eggs, a piece of toast, and bacon and coffee for $1.99, which, that's a great deal, even for the 90s. So cops would come in and I would work Saturday mornings, and it was a very busy restaurant, and I would charge them. I didn't know that you weren't supposed to charge the policemen, and they would pay. They were like fine with it. But then one time Mr. Mossberg's came in and he was talking to them and they were paying, and he's like, whoa, why are you guys paying? And they're like, every time Tara waits on us, we have to pay. And I was like, I didn't know that they didn't pay. And he was like, well, they take care of us. They watch our store. And I was like, I didn't know. The cops were so nice. They're like, it's $1.99. It's okay. We had like an ice cream parlor in the back. And then we had another back room, and I never went back there. I don't know why. Naive, whatever. So this couple comes out and they're like, hey, this is what we won. This is our payout. You need to pay us. And I'm like, what? Because I was working the register. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, we won. You need to pay us. I'm like, again, don't know what you're talking about. And then his girlfriend comes in, the one in the Corvette. And so she paid him out. And I was like, what is that? And she was like, oh, it's our machines back there. They had like a little casino back there, and they paid out for it, which I'm pretty sure is illegal. But I remember going home and like telling my pap, I'm like, oh, they were like gambling, like it's illegal. And he's like, oh, you sweet girl. He's like, you know how many restaurants do that around here? I had no clue. No clue. These black beans are so good. a Bavarian restaurant, and then for dinner we would have liver and onions. It actually smelled really good, but I've never tried it. If I would have tried liver at any time, I should have did it there because we had really good cooks. And we had bratwurst. What else did we have? Fish, lots of fish. So we would have the mayor of Pittsburgh. She would come in. I cannot remember her name right now. Let me look it up. Hold on. Fee Masloff. Okay, I might be saying that wrong. I apologize. But she loved coming in for the fish, and she would come in on Sundays. So it was a big deal for our town. She was always really nice. I mean, she didn't really, I remember having any security detail. Do you need that when you're a mayor of Pittsburgh? Maybe not. So she would come in all the time, and I would, serve her. And so we had this wonderful cook, this woman cook, and she was a little rough around the edges, but man, she was such a good cook. So we had the swinging doors, you could obviously hear from the kitchen if you talk loud enough. So I brought her fish that she would always get. I can't even remember what kind it was. And she was like, I hate to complain, like I normally never do, but it actually just tastes too fishy. And I didn't eat fish, so I didn't really know what that meant. So I went back and I was like, hey, she said the fish is too fishy. And she's like, oh yeah, that's what my old man told me last night. The door was open, like it was swung open. So the mayor heard that. She was like so upset, so she went and told the boss, and the cook was she wasn't fired. It was just, she was told like, you just have to watch what you say. But I remember going home and telling my pap that too. And he was like, she said, what? This restaurant always had so much drama. I don't know if that's true of all restaurants, but my first serving job, it was just constantly, somebody's cheating on this one's with a fryer cook, this one's doing that. And I was young, I was just serving, trying to make money, so nothing ever involved me until it did. I was mopping the front floor, and we had this fryer cook who was nice. I don't remember even talking to him really, but he looked like a corn star with like a mustache. Like that's what he reminded me of. Like he looked like, I don't know, he just was not attractive to me. Okay. And he was old. Like what? So his wife comes in to pick him up like she normally does, and she would always talk to me. And her sister I went to school with, who I was very friendly with. We would sit together at lunch. She had a baby early. I even helped put a baby shower on for her. And like we were really close, and we still talk today. So if you're watching us, you know who you are, because I ask you about this because I'm still bitter over this. But she came in and the floor's wet, and I'm worried, she's going to slip. I'm like, hey, the floor's wet. And she's like, I can't even say the stuff she was calling me. She's like, I know you've been blah, blah, blah with my husband. I'm like, and I see him in like the window of the, kitchen, and he's looking out all freaked out. And I'm like, what? Your old husband? And she comes at me. Luckily, the floor was wet. She goes down. And he comes running out, he gets her. She hit her head. They had to call the ambulance, and she's telling them, she's sleeping with my husband. I'm not sleeping with your husband? Ew! My pap comes over because I'm really upset, and he's like, okay, well, she lays hands on you. She's an adult. She's going to catch charges. So I'm going to go there tomorrow, and I'm going to settle this. Basically, he put, my notice in because he was like, you are not working there anymore. We never really found out what happened. Like I said, I knew the sister, and I went to school the next day, and I was like, why did she think I was sleeping with him? And she was like, I don't know. She's just crazy. And like the sister never really wanted to talk about it. So, and why I'm so bitter, because when she Facebook friended me, I was like, do you remember when your sister like tried to hurt me and then ended up in the hospital? Like, what was the deal? Whatever happened? And she's like, oh, I don't know. They were crazy and they're divorced anyways. So I never got the full story on that, but that was my experience of a small town restaurant. Yeah. Join me for my next lunch in a car, or lunch at home, maybe lunch at work.